Hello everyone. Today I want to tell you a real biology story. And honestly, it sounds almost like an accident that nature planned very carefully. So, imagine this. It is the year 1928 in London. A scientist named Alexander Fleming is working in his laboratory at St. Mary's Hospital. He is studying bacteria, specifically Staphylococcus, a type of bacteria that can cause infections. Now, Fleming was brilliant, yes, but he was also known to be a little messy in the lab. Not careless exactly, but not the kind of person whose lab bench was always perfectly clean. One day, before going on holiday, he left some bacterial culture plates in his lab. When he came back, he noticed something strange. One of the plates had been contaminated by mold. Now, normally, if you are doing microbiology and your plate gets contaminated, you throw it away because contamination means your experiment is ruined. But Fleming looked more closely, and what he saw was shocking. Around the mold, the bacteria were not growing. There was a clear zone, like an invisible barrier, where the bacteria had been killed or stopped from growing. And Fleming thought, wait, what is happening here? That mold belonged to the genus Penicillium, and Fleming realized that this mold was producing some substance that could kill bacteria. He later called that substance Penicillium. Now just think about this for a second. Before antibiotics, even a small wound could become deadly. A simple cut, a throat infection, pneumonia, childbirth-related infections, all of these could kill people because doctors did not have powerful medicines to fight bacterial infections. So this tiny mold on a forgotten culture plate was not just a lab accident. It was the beginning of the antibiotic era. But here is the interesting part. Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928, but it did not immediately become a medicine. The problem was that penicillin was difficult to purify and produce in large quantities. So for many years, it remained an important discovery, but not yet a practical treatment. Later, scientists Florey and Ernst worked on purifying penicillin and testing it properly. During World War II, penicillin became extremely important because it was used to treat infected wounds in soldiers. And suddenly, infections that once meant death could now be cured. That is huge. In 1945, Fleming, Florey and Chain received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for their work on penicillin.
But this story is not just about a drug. It teaches us something very important about science. Sometimes discovery happens when a scientist notices what others might ignore. A contaminated plate could have been thrown away. Fleming could have said, "Oh, my experiment is spoiled," and moved on. But instead, he asked a question. Why are the bacteria not growing near the mold? And that question changed medicine forever. This is the beauty of biology. Life is constantly interacting. Microbes fighting microbes, fungi producing chemicals, bacteria adapting, nature creating molecules long before humans understand them. Penicillin was not invented from nothing. It was discovered from nature. And this also reminds us that science is not always a straight road. Sometimes it is messy. Sometimes it begins with failure. Sometimes the most important observation is hiding inside what looks like a mistake. So the next time we think an experiment has gone wrong, maybe we should pause and ask, what is this result trying to tell me? Because who knows, maybe the next big discovery is also sitting quietly on a forgotten plate. Thank you.